Hello, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Taurus, this is interesting here. Now, usually with this, I would feel something else or think something else, but because of the call of the night, So from Lay Vampire, the call of the night, daring, adventure, and excitement. But then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled guilt, which makes me wonder if some of you aren't feeling guilty because you're being pulled somewhere else, which is a possibility. The call of the night, though. This is feeling that pull and wanting to get out of your comfort zone and needing to have some excitement and needing to experience something else, needing to meet new people. But again, it's like you're being pulled somewhere else. There's excitement somewhere else. Because with guilt being there, it's like you feel like you're obligated to do things for somebody else. So now when you're talking about guilt, and I'm just going to go through, and I haven't done this in a while, but the inspiration says, do not do for others what they need to do for themselves. Speak truth from your heart. Honesty is freedom. Any guilt is fear of being disliked. What stuck out to me is honesty is freedom. Maybe there's a need for some of you to just be honest with the people that are around you and stop feeling guilty over the fact that you need some excitement in your life. But I think that you feel like you're obligated to do this, though, too. But what happens with guilt is that anger and resentment starts playing into this. And it's like, how long can you take, carrying the burdens and obligations of others before you get to a point where you get like really pissed off? But like I said, for some of you, I think you feel guilty. Here's your overall for the week. Oh boy. I had a feeling that this one was going to be super exciting. The Knight of Wands as your overall. What are you doing? With the Knight of Wands being the overall, one of the things that I talk about with the Knights is I feel like this has to do more so with action. Now, as far as the person coming through and talking about their action, they may be coming in with a bunch of passion and excitement and enthusiasm, or this is you feeling this way right now and going after that pull and needing to have some excitement in your life. But we'll see. We'll see how Mr. Knight of Wands is playing out. Okay. Oh, yeah, Taurus. The King of Wands is the past coming through. Oh, this is going to be my favorite one for this week. I can already tell. The King of Wands, fire. Aries, Leo, Sag. For some of you. But like I say, when it comes to court cards, especially when we're talking about general readings, right? As far as I'm concerned, that can be anywhere in somebody's chart. The personality is what's more important to me. Now, generally, when the King of Wands shows up, you're talking about somebody who is, passionate, adventurous, right? Just that right amount of excitement that I think some of you need right now. But he shows up when there is an attraction, though. He tends to be the king that shows up when somebody is like really attracted to them. The man of passion. Oh boy. Yeah. In the present, the Ten of Cups. So if you're looking at somebody from the past coming through with the King of Wands, right, there's a lot of happiness here. Now, it could be that, you're already in a committed relationship and you guys are just having a lot of fun. But we're focused right now on overall happiness in the present moment, which makes me curious to see what's going on here. Why? Why can't you do it, Taurus? Damn it. Now, with the Two of Swords being future conditions, immediately, right, like one of the things that I talk about, like when I'm teaching tarot, is the very first thing that you see before this is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is the truth. So if you move into the Two of Swords and you're seeing a blindfold, that blindfold is bullshit because you already know what the situation is and you already know the truth. But there is an inability here to make a choice. It's difficult. It's like difficult to do. Do you follow this passion or do you stay where, there is like at least a level of like stability as far as like where you're at right now? You know what I mean? But then again, what is your overall happiness though? But like, why? Now, this doesn't have to be you, though. This could be the other person. But like, I'm looking at this Knight of Wands and I'm going, yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be anything that's like holding anybody back. But then again, I look back at guilt and I kind of understand why. But somebody's not making a choice, or this choice is like something really difficult and it may affect your overall happiness. Oh, these readings, I tell you. Your best path to follow, speak the truth with the Ace of Swords. Again, needing to just speak the truth and have the truth all out there. You know, I don't, like I said, you know, with the Two of Swords being there, clearly here, you already know what the truth is. It's just that, you know, you're not able to make that choice for yourself. But it starts with the truth needing to be out there in the open for everybody to see. Like, look. This is what's going to make me happy. This is what I want to do. And needing to just speak that rather than carrying around the guilt, right? Oh boy. All right. Okay. In your environment, the Four of Cups. Good Lord. All right. And that may be the reason, though, why. It may be one of those things where, yeah, that's great and all that you have, you know, the man of passion coming through. But if you're looking at overall happiness right now, and they may be coming through with something else, with the Four of Cups being there, it's like, what makes this any different than what I already have? You know? And for some of you, though, because it's connected to the Ten of Cups, it could be that you are just not satisfied in a situation right now. And it's sad because the Ten of Cups, it has a tendency to show up when there are difficulties happening with your overall happiness. You know, it can't ever just be this thing that comes through and, yay, I'm happy and everything's happy and everything's great. Hooray me. Right? It's like something has always got to show up to like mess it up. And it drives me nuts. And, you know, again, with that Ace of Swords being there, maybe it's just like needing to speak the truth. Now, because we're looking at the Ten of Cups, if we're talking about family situations, for example, there is a need for you to communicate to possibly someone here that you're not happy. You're not like fully satisfied here. But still, you're looking at a choice that you're going to have to make here in future conditions. And it's whether or not to follow a passion, I think. Damn, Taurus. Oh, wow. All right. Death in your hopes and fears. And that's probably why, though, too, with the damn Two of Swords. Oh, good Lord. When you're looking at death in terms of hopes and fears, it's really about the fear that things are going to be like final. Now, on the other hand, you know, it's like hoping that a situation is just completely over with. But the thing is, you know, with death, you're talking about an ending that is going to change you in a big way, right? Death and transformation. But if you make a choice to speak the truth, to follow a passion, what does that mean? You know? And the Ten of Cups and death, and then with this being there, and again, it brings me back to this feeling of, right, like what makes this any different than what I'm already, you know, happy with? You know, why should I accept this? Wow. Wow, Taurus, why did it have to get so heavy? Shit. Man. You know, but for some of you, that may be what you're needing or what you're hoping for. Damn. All right. Oh, oh, these fucking readings. Oh, good Lord. The moon. The moon. Are you chasing an illusion? Because with the moon, again, you know, and I say this time and time again, yes, there is illumination there, but the moon does not fully illuminate your path. There is a need to get out of the fog, out of the bullshit, get back to clarity. But, you know, it's like And the moon, the fucking moon, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The reason why a lot of times we can't make a difficult choice is because of the unknown and not wanting to face what that unknown is going to be. But you're already in it. But, I think that maybe you're doing the right thing, though, that by not actually making a choice here, because if you're not clear or you don't feel like things are clear or somebody isn't being clear with you, then, it's not really a good idea to just go ahead and make a choice if it's going to disrupt or affect your overall happiness. But like I said, with the Four of Cups being in your environment, there's a reason why you're being pulled in a different direction. And that's because there's boredom. There's not, any satisfaction happening there. Yeah, Taurus, this is going to probably be my favorite one for the week. Okay, so let me explain what's happening here. The moon, no clarity, not really knowing if what you're going after is an illusion. Is it real, right? With the High Priestess, and I'm saying this because of the other cards you have here. This may be something that you've been keeping secret for a while, but haven't really been discussing. Okay, now I don't feel like this is secrets being kept from you. I think that these are the things that, you're holding within here. And the reason why I say that is because of the Hermit, then of course the Seven of Swords. But let's start with the Hermit. Now, one of the things that I point out in a lot of decks, you're going to see this, and even in this one, you don't see it clearly here, I don't think. Not with the camera, but in the Lantern is the star. So that means that the Hermit has his hopes and his dreams right there in that Lantern, but it's looking back at it after having been 1 through 9 and going, okay, what was it that I really wanted? Now, for some of you, it is doing that really deep soul searching based on things that are coming up for you right now that I think that you've been holding down. My worry, though, is the Seven of Swords coming out. Now, with the Seven of Swords, we can simply say that you're not willing to talk about anything. You're not willing to reveal anything because there isn't a lot of clarity right now. You're searching for it. But if you're coming out of Hermit mode and you're going into the Seven of Swords, this is like doing some stuff on the down low. But because you're not really making a choice and we're still looking at, this fog, I don't think that you actually act on anything, but I think that you're not really speaking the truth like it needs to be said, especially if there is dissatisfaction with an otherwise happy situation. But I don't think that any of this would be happening if you didn't have Mr. Man of Passion and the Knight of Wands showing up. Honestly. Man, Taurus, that's, oh boy. Yeah. But then the other thing too is maybe the reason why you're not able to make a choice here on whether or not to follow this passion, whether or not it has to do with somebody, is because things are not clear. But if you are talking about a person, they may not be being very honest though either. But yet you're being asked to be. But the moon is pulling on you like something fierce. Holy shit. I do agree with the fact that, if you are not satisfied, that there is a need to speak up about it. But I also feel like maybe some of you are doing the right thing by not actually making a choice here, because you just end up in this place where there's still not a whole lot of understanding. And death being there, that's pretty heavy as far as the hope and fear. And, I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, maybe this isn't such a good guy coming through. Okay, so now you're looking at somebody who's trying to force somebody to do something that they're not comfortable with. And again, with the devil being in the background, the intentions are not right. So there's a need for you to free yourself from being involved with people who are just, wanting what they can get from you, especially in terms of lust, because of the devil being there. But like I said, it's being put in a position that is not where you feel comfortable. Now, I've also heard this referred to, though, as like somebody trying to distract you. But clearly here, you know, with the Eight of Swords in itself, right? I mean, you don't want to be trapped in any kind of a situation like that anyway. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, the reason why you're needing to spend time together is because something needs to be fixed. When you're looking at the Nine of Wands, this is somebody that's trying to come in to fix an issue, like immediately needing to come in and fix something that is wrong. And for some of you, the only way that you're going to fix whatever difficulties are going on within the relationship is by being together, enjoying good times together, instead of being, you know, like separated from each other for whatever reason. But, you know, with the call of the night, like, and then seeing the Four of Cups, I just think some of you may not be happy in a situation right now. But yet, like, I feel like somebody's still coming through to kind of like try to fix something here if we're talking about, you know, relationships. But damn it, Taurus, this is definitely my favorite reading of the week. Holy shit. You guys are going to have to let me know what in the hell is going on here. But like I said, with the Seven of Swords, we can be going either way here. But there's like not a whole lot of clarity on the situation, period. And I think that it's things that you've been keeping to yourself, with the High Priestess being there. But with the Seven of Swords, I'm like on the fence about it. Some of you, you know, may get involved in a situation where somebody is like wanting to keep it on the down low, whether that's you or the other person. But then again, you know, you may not be able to make a choice because somebody else may not be being very clear about their intentions, though, either. All right, Taurus, so let me just say, starting this off, I don't think that this has to do with somebody that is dissatisfied, because what I'm looking at is about you. It is about you. It's about you and needing to have some excitement. I think that you're unhappy in a situation right now, and I think you're faking it. And that's for some of you. Now, we could definitely be talking about your overall happiness here and you questioning this coming through, especially with this being the overall and going, well, what makes this any different than what I already have? Why should I accept this? But I think that for some of you, you've been like keeping some stuff bottled up. There's like boredom, dissatisfaction. There's a need for excitement. And I'm telling you, as soon as I pulled these two, I'm like, but why? Why would you feel guilty about needing to have excitement in your life? Well, maybe it's because you're not speaking about the things that are not making you happy. Now, as far as death goes, man, you guys took it to a serious place really quick here. Because here's the thing. Whether or not you make a choice, right? Like, it's very telling as far as the way you see it. If I make a choice, what does that mean? And with the death being there, it's like something is definitely going to be final, over with, done, and it's going to change you in a really big way. Do I follow passion or do I stay where I'm at? You know, do I take this and run with this, or do I stay where I have at least somewhat of a sense of stability, right? With the Ten of Cups being there. I don't think you do, though. Like, I don't think some of you do make a choice, and I think it's because whatever is coming through here, you know, with the Knight of Wands being the overall and then looking at the King, with the Moon being there, there's not a whole lot of clarity. You know, and I wonder if some of you are looking at this and going, you know, is this just an illusion? Is this even real? Is it even a real thing that I should be doing? Because, like I said, I think that you've been keeping some things bottled up for quite some time. Like, seriously, between these two, I don't think we're talking about secrets. I think we're talking about your own secrets here, especially with the Hermit next to it. And it's like, with the Moon doing really deep, and I mean deep soul searching, what do you really want? You know, do you really want to get caught up in this passion if it's going to change things on such a drastic level? But then at the same time, it's like, and with the Moon being there, yeah, absolutely needing to have clarity before making a choice that could possibly, like, end a situation. And I don't think that you want it to with the Two of Swords. But, like, needing to speak up, though, too, instead of, like, bottling everything up, right? But like I said, you guys are being pulled by the Moon hardcore. Hardcore. and like needing to have some excitement. Now, as far as relationships go, free yourself in the Eight of Swords. I mean, just saying the two, yeah, you know, you don't want to stay stuck in a situation where you're not happy. But looking at the Eight of Swords, it makes me wonder if that King of Wands is not like on the up and up. You know, I mean, and with the Seven of Swords. But looking at this, to me, it's like being put in a position where you're not comfortable. And it's like somebody's trying to force you to do something that you're not comfortable with, or they're looking to get what they can out of you because of the devil being in the background. And there's a need for you to free yourself from that, or free yourself from attracting people that are that way. Now, as far as relationships go, yeah, there's a need for you guys to spend some time together because something needs to be fixed. When you're looking at the Nine of Wands, this is somebody coming in trying to fix an issue before things get out of control and out of hand. And maybe the only way to do that right now is to spend some quality time together. But Jesus, Taurus, man, you guys took this to a serious place really quick. And like I said, I don't think that some of you even make the choice. But I do think that you're questioning on whether or not it's even real, looking at the moon. And I don't think that any of this would be happening right now if this wasn't coming into your life. I mean, the two of these, come on. That would stir anybody up, you know? But I would say to you, Taurus, that, you know, if you're needing excitement in your life, absolutely you should go after that. But if it means that it's going to cause like drastic changes in your life, then maybe being at the stalemate is probably the best thing to do right now. Until you get absolute clarity on what your choices actually are.